Welcome to part 2
Hi.
of the trigonometry stuff. We left off with just one example done. So we're just going to knock out the rest of the examples and then that's it. It's work day. All right? All right. Let's work with number 2. All right. Looking at number 2. Excuse me. I'm going to identify my right angle. And from there I can identify my hypotenuse. Which one's my hypotenuse?
The 18.
The 18 is my hypotenuse. Okay. Hypotenuse. All right. I'm looking for angle T. So here's angle T. The other side I have information for, is it opposite angle T or is it adjacent to angle T? It's opposite. All right. Gonna use my memory technique. Some old hippie. Caught another. Got it. Okay. I've got my memory technique. Of the sides I have information for, which ones are they? I have information on the opposites and the hypotenuse. This is the only one that has opposite and hypotenuse. The others do not. So that's the trig function I'm going to use. All right, so the sine of angle T equals the measure of the opposite divided by the measure of the hypotenuse. To calculate the measure of angle T, then I need to undo what sine is doing, and that's using the inverse of sine. I'm going to grab a hero. So I'm going to type this in, hit the trig button, go to arc sine, 7 divided by 18. Double check to make sure I'm in degree mode, because if I'm not, that's the correct measure of the angle, just in the wrong system, and that would be weird. All right, so 22.9. Coming back to you. Let's do number 4. That way number 2 stays on screen, because I know a few of you might still be writing down. I'm going to look for my right angle. I'm going to find my hypotenuse. Here's angle T. Do I have the side opposite or the side adjacent? You're absolutely right. This is the side adjacent. Looking up here at my reminder, which one uses adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine. So the cosine of T equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And so the measure of angle T equals the inverse of cosine of 32 over 101. Calculators?
Oh.
71.5, 71.3?
Oh, no, he's right. I put 100.
0.5. Okay. Let's do number 3. Which one's the hypotenuse?
87.
Which one's, here's T? Okay, so do we have opposite or do we have adjacent?
We have to
Adjacent, which means we have which trig function? Cosine. Good. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And so the measure of angle T is the inverse cosine of whatever that fraction was. What was it?
67.
67 degree. Well, 67.0, right? Because I think it's like 66 point stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm glad that you guys remembered that well, that easy. That's fantastic. Notice that the color coding kind of disappeared by the end because you no longer needed that little help. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Okay. We're going to do the word problems because I know word problems are crazy. So the word problem says, K is standing near 200-foot-high radio tower. Do y'all know what a radio tower is? Yeah, transmitter radio signals. If you go down Main Street south toward the elementary school, that field that has like this tower in the middle of it.
It's close to San Houston.
Yeah, it's close to Sam Houston. Or no, Sanchez.
It's San Houston.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the radio tower. I'm gonna believe you because I don't remember where I am right now. Okay, but yeah, so that's the radio tower. They usually have blinky red lights on the top, so I'm gonna draw a blinky red light of airplane. Please don't kill me. Okay, blinky light of airplane. Please don't kill me. Now K is standing near this thing. So this down here is K. Okay, so K is holding a string, measuring tape. We need to figure out how long that measuring tape is because we've been asked how far is K from the top of the tower. So Superman flew over, tied the string to the top of the tower near the light, and then handed it to K, and K's gonna now read how long that tape is. However, we want the answer expressed not in feet, but as a trigonometric function. And all that means is you're going to see the word sine, cosine, or tangent in your answer somewhere. That's it. All right, let's look at our picture a bit more closely, see what we can figure out. Here's my right angle. Where's my hypotenuse? The question mark. We don't know. That's the string that K is holding. That's what we're looking for. And so let's assign it a variable. What's your favorite variable? Okay. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to use my trig thing. Here's my angle right down here. Some old hippie caught another on us. All right. Which trig function should I use? Well, here's my angle. I have an hypotenuse, so that rules out tangent. Is this side, which is the length of the tower, opposite to the angle or adjacent to the angle? It is opposite to the angle. And so that means cosine is out. We're using sine. And our trig function is the sine of that angle, 49 degrees, is equal to whatever we get from the side opposite that angle divided by the hypotenuse of the triangle. But I don't know the measure of the hypotenuse, so I'm going to put x. Now we're assured that this is okay because there has to be some distance between K and the top of the tower, right? She's not standing on the top of the tower. The distance is not 0. It's something. So we're not dividing by 0. We're not breaking the universe. Everything's fine. We need to solve this thing for x. And we want to do it in a way that preserves that trigonometric word, that sine function. If I look at this thing, what kind of equation is it? It's trigonometric because it's got a trig word in it. It's got sine, but it also has a fraction. How do you get rid of fractions in an equation? Multiply. Multiply by what? If you multiply the reciprocal, unless the numerator was originally 1, it just creates more fractions. So how do you get rid of fractions, period? Not a specific one, but any fraction in an equation. You multiply by something, by the denominator. The bottom one, the denominator, you're right. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the denominator, the bottom one. Okay. That means that over here, this multiplication of x and this division by x are going to cancel, and so the right-hand side is 200. And the left-hand side is written this way. It's written x sine 49, but it is said x times the sine of 49. because there's a multiplication in there that you don't see. I'm trying to solve for x, meaning I want x by itself and all the rest of the mess on the other side. What do I need to get rid of? The sine of 49. How do I get rid of the sine of 49? What's happening between x and sine of 49? Multiplication. How do you undo multiplication? So what should I divide by?
The sign.
The sine of 49. Again, we still haven't done any calculator work yet, because we're trying to preserve that word sine. The moment we go to the calculator and push the button sine 49, it turns it into a decimal number, and the function, that word sine, is gone. Okay, we're trying to keep it. And so x equals 200 divided by the sine of 49 degrees. And because we have isolated x, the variable you told me representing the distance between k and the top of the tower, this is the answer as a trigonometric function. It doesn't make any sense to our brains in terms of how far away she is. Like, I don't really know, right? But I could find out. Superman, help! Figure this out for me. How far away really is she? 200 divided by trig function. I'm going to select sine. Not sine inverse. I'm not trying to undo sine. It's sine of 49. So sine 49. She's about 265 feet away. And that's a number that seems to make a lot more sense than this number. But we were asked to put it as a trigonometric function, and trigonometric functions have some trig word in there somewhere at least once. And so this is the answer, though this is the distance, even though we weren't asked for the distance in nearest feet. All right, let's do it one more time. Because word problems are crazy, and leaving our answers as a jumble of letters and numbers together is probably new and hurting your OCD. Hi, that's my morning. And then my daughter reminds me where I put my glasses. Okay. A 60-foot ramp rises from the first floor to the second floor of a parking garage. I'm going to look at my picture and try to make it do that. Okay, so I have ramp because there's a car that's on top of it. Here's the Batmobile. Batmobile. Okay, so there's the car driving up the ramp. That means this is the first floor. And that means this is the second floor. He's got to get up there before Joker drops. Who's Batman's main love interest? Someone. I'm not going to say Robin now because I love interest and I just made it awkward. Okay, and we want to know how far person will fall. Okay, and we're told that the ramp is making a 15-degree angle with the ground. So there's the angle that the ramp is making with the ground. All right. The ramp is which side of my right triangle? My hypotenuse. Because here is the right angle. This side, in relationship to the angle the ramp is making with the ground, is it opposite or is it adjacent? Opposites. It has a question mark. Oh God, the Riddler's involved. We need a variable. C. You're welcome to use X on your paper. She called out the letter C first, so we're going to go with her call out and use C. Okay, right? Yes, that one? Yes. Okay. So, which trig function do we have information for?
S. Sine.
We have opposite. We have hypotenuse. That's that one. All right. So the sine of 15 degrees is equal to the length of the side opposite divided by the hypotenuse of my right triangle. The distance I'm interested in knowing is represented by the letter C, so I need to solve for C. This is an equation. Yes, it's a trigonometric equation, but it has a fraction. How do you get rid of fractions in an equation? Multiply by the denominator. The denominator in this case is 60, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 60. When I do that on the right-hand side, multiply by 60 and divide by 60 cancel. The right-hand side is C. I can pat myself on the back for having gotten that far. And now I got to take care of this left side. This left side means take 60 and multiply it to whatever the sign of 15 is. This does not mean take 60 and multiply it to the 15. The 15 is tucked inside of whatever sign does. I don't know what it does. I can't tell you add this, multiply that, square. I can't tell you. No idea. But I know that whatever it is, it's a single number, and then I can take that value and multiply by 16. So I'm going to write it this way. I'm going to write it so it looks like it reads 60 sine 15. But what this actually says and means is 60 times the sine of 15 degrees. And because this is another one of those, please express your answer as a trig function, that's my final answer. Now, she gave us C as the variable. And so we're going to say that this was Catwoman that Joker was dangling over the second story. Let's figure out how far she actually has to fall. Not my phone. Superhero. Let's figure out how far she actually has to fall and whether or not Batman is going to rush up there to save her or not. Because if it's like 2 feet, why? Like, you're not even going to sprain an ankle at that point. Okay, so I'm going to type this exactly. Hello, let's get some focus camera. Focus. Beautiful. I'm going to type this literally the way it is. 60, open my trig menu, select sign, type 15, hit enter, and Catwoman is going to fall 15.5 feet. She's going to be fine. That's not far at all. That's like only 3 of me tall. I'm not that tall. It's like, okay, maybe this room. This room is about maybe 12 to 15 feet tall. Yeah, she's going to fall the height of this room. That's not that bad. And it's Catwoman. Like, she's going to land on her feet. Unless you tie a buttered toast to her back. And then she's going to hang there, floating. Spin in circles. Okay, we're getting a little silly with the thing. But that's it. That's all there is to do. Easy? Feeling good? All right. Thank you very much.